Hey, welcome back to another video. I just want to cover some albums I've been enjoying a lot recently, and I have five here that I'd like to cover in this video. So we're going to be talking about Loveless by My Bloody Valentine, You by Underscores, Half-Blood, Bloodlux by Slayer, Schlegenheim by Black Midi, and The Passionate Ones by Nourish in Time. So nothing too in-depth today, just wanted to shine some light on these albums and talk about them briefly. So let's get started with the first album, which is Loveless. This is a classic shoegaze album that was taken off streaming services somewhat recently, which really is a bummer, but I recently got it back on Spotify using local files, so I've been listening to it a lot. I listened for the first time early on in high school, but I was never really a huge fan of this album, though I really liked When You Sleep. I had that song on repeat, probably like sophomore year, I think. But yeah, as I said earlier, I was missing this album a lot, and I'm glad I dived back into it more recently because this is a flawless album. I love just throwing this album on when I'm hanging out with friends, and it kind of just fits the vibe, you know? It's a great album. My favorite songs are Only Shallow, When You Sleep, and Come In Alone. And this is a great listen, super fun and noisy album. And it's just the perfect mix of upbeat and chill music. But yeah, as I said, classic record, can't really go wrong. So moving on to the next, I'm going to be talking about You. So this is a recently released hyperpop album, but it does lean more into the pop side of things, but it still contains some killer hyperpop elements as well. Notably the beat drops. There is some great beat drops on this album. I just go absolutely crazy. And I've been putting off listening to this album for a bit, but I'm so glad I tapped in because this is great. I've listened to Underscores for a couple of months now, and I was a big fan of Wall Socket. And I was a big fan of the singles as well for this album, notably Music, which is just an incredible song. But this album was super fun to listen to, and I've been going back to a good handful of tracks. My favorite songs are Music, Innuendo, or I Get You, and Body Feeling. And that beat drop on Body Feeling literally has me ascending when I listen. Oh my god, that song is so good. But yeah, this is a great new album that I definitely recommend people to tap into. And I'm going to be talking about another recently released album, which is Half-Blood Bloodlux. So, as I said, this is another recently released mixtape. This is more rage-oriented, but it blends several other genres. It blends elements of EDM, punk, and hyperpop as well. And this is the deluxe or the sister album to Half-Blood. I mean, this is just like this is another 10 songs. So I would say this is more like a sister album. And I do believe Bloodlux is better than the original, though Half-Blood is still a great mixtape. I've been listening to this album like crazy. Like every song slaps, and every song also transitions into each other flawlessly, which makes the listening experience super enjoyable, like all the way through. And I typically have to queue at least two songs when I want to listen to a song off this album just to hear that transition. Like for example, if I'm listening to Toxic, I need to cue Eyesight right after. Like they just go hand in hand together so well. But yeah, I grew up playing a ton of Geometry Dash, and some of these songs just perfectly hit that niche for me. You know, like the electronic video game music. And that leads a lot of people calling this album burger music, but hey, I'm not complaining. It's still pretty fucking good. And this is just such a fun record, and I love just throwing this mixtape on in the shower when I don't feel like queuing songs. And just because everything flows so well, it's such a fun album to listen to. And Slayer's only 18, making such great music at such a young age is crazy. I mean, this dude is younger than me, and I mean, shit, it makes me want to lock in and like make some music too. But my favorite songs are Toxic, Eyesight, and Died But Came Back. All killer tracks. This is a great record. Moving on to the next, Schlegenheim. This is an experimental rock, math rock, and noise rock album from Black Midi. It's absolutely bizarre and chaotic. And I've been familiar with Black Midi for some time now. I originally became a fan through their final album, Hellfire, but I was never too crazy on it. It was more Jordy Grief's solo work with the new sound that got me truly hooked into this style. Though I know the new sound is in a different style, but just Jordy Grief's work as a whole. And if you haven't seen my review on the new sound, definitely go check it out. It's one of my favorite albums. I had a lot of praises for it. But I was interested in listening to another Black Midi album to give them another shot, and I'm so glad I did. I definitely need to re-listen to Hellfire too. But besides that, this album is just pure insanity. At some points, I genuinely had no clue what I was listening to because of their screaming and odd vocal performances, but it's just so fun to listen to. And I mean, I feel like I've said that for all of these albums that I've mentioned so far, but I guess I've just been listening to fun music. I mean, what can I say? And yeah, I haven't listened to a ton of this album, so I don't have as much to say, but I have definitely been enjoying it. And my favorite songs are BM, 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 953, and Near Detroit, Michigan. So moving on to the final record I want to shed some light on, that is The Passionate Ones. This is a super catchy album, blending elements of alternative R&B, bedroom pop, and synth pop. And I was hooked on this album about a month or two ago, but I wanted to still include it in this video as well. Like, I was listening to it a ton, and I'm not listening to it as much now, but obviously I'm still throwing on tracks from time to time. And I became familiar with Norse by Time through this record. Yeah, honestly, on first listen, this album really did not click for me. And the vocals are amazing on this record, but they can be a bit hard to really get into at first. But something kept calling me back to this album despite that, and it is really good. And it's grown on me a lot since then, clearly. I love listening to this album, though I typically have to skip Cult Interlude. That song is a bit creepy. I don't really like listening to that song, or it's Interlude, whatever. But besides that, all the real songs on this album have no skips. It is a great listen through and through. And also, I just want to call some attention to the album cover. It's a bit ominous, and I love the grainy red filter over the image. The album cover is really cool. My favorite songs are Idiot in the Park, JoJo, and Tossed Away. Though I do want to mention Max Potential as well, because that's a song that really got me coming back, because that's a great song as well. So, those are the albums I've been loving recently, and I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on them in the comments. If any of these albums are new to you, I'd totally suggest checking them out. And besides that, though, if you have any other albums to recommend to me, feel free to comment as well. I'll always respond to the comments and give my thoughts, and I'll maybe even make a video about the albums that are recommended. But that's all for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to catch you in the next. Alright, see ya.